This video is going to show the part-timers from the actual, like, people that come in on a regular basis. Tonight we're talking about something that is really, truly near and dear to my heart. And I thought about making this a non-live video, to making this actually my first sort of Patreon exclusive tape video. But I decided that I'd do a live one because I'm hoping that we'll get some people on here that actually are fans of the show, and we're going to be talking about other stuff as well. But we're going to start with Doctor Who, the classic series, because I got the latest one come today, and I wanted to talk about basically the seasons sets that have come out so far, and the what I think is coming next, based on like lots of, thank you, Alan, by the way, for coming in. There we go, like a true viewer here. I gotta be honest, I get nervous a bit sometimes when I steer outside the normal courthouse of like a normal wheelhouse of what I normally talk about, because people tend to sometimes to put that against me. So, but I love Doctor Who, so it's the topic tonight. If you like this channel, you're here. Hey, Dungeon. No, actually, yeah. Well, I guess I'm up late and away. But had a nap earlier today, and because I worked. As soon as I got off work, I just crashed. I just immediately crashed. So today I got something come in the mail, and I wasn't sure I was going to get this come. And there's a big reason. Hey there, Eggman. Behind that, basically, this set, when it came out, when it was announced and it was put on for a pre-order, it sold out like pretty fast. It was one of the quickest selling of this whole series of sets, right? Then what happened in the world happened, and a lot of stuff was being like shut down. Like you couldn't, for a while, you could not get stuff from the UK. Now the last couple things that I got from Amazon UK, they, didn't come, or sometimes it would come 6 months later than expected. Now, with something that's this rare, and I'll explain that, by the way. I got some water tonight. You kind of get worried because with these here, they're very rarely, except for the first one, do you ever get reprinted, and especially with this one. So if anybody hey, there's Cinematech, has ever watched Doctor Who, especially watched the classic Doctor Who, or ever seen a Simpsons episode, then you're probably seen or know who Raising the Body Snatchers. Nice. Then you've probably seen. Thank you for coming in. The new Tom Baker set. Then you've probably seen, and I really appreciate that for people like someone like, even if you're not a Doctor Who fan and you came in for the video anyway, that's kudos for that, because that's a true cult cinema member. This one here, Tom Baker is the biggest actor that's ever played. Well, he's the most popular Doctor Who of all time, especially if we're going to go with the classic series. For years, even after Doctor Who was off the air, if you saw the Doctor represented anyway, if it was like in a drawing of The Simpsons or something like that, Tom Baker was the guy that you saw. So even if you didn't know Doctor Who, if you've never seen an episode of it, you probably saw Tom Baker in some form or another in the role. Because of that, every time that they put out, actually, Cinematech, do you want to get into that? I think the next one coming is Series 20, which would be the second, I think, which is the second Peter Davison series of Doctor Who. And it's the one with the Black Guardian trilogy. So that's kind of a big one for me, because I don't think I got the Black Guardian trilogy. Do I have the Black Guardian trilogy? Either way, I got to get this, because I'm getting all these. So what's really cool about this is, if you've never watched Doctor Who before, then and you're a horror fan, for instance. Let's say you love horror, especially if you love like the Hammer, Universal Horror, that type of stuff. There's 3 years of Doctor Who, 3 series. Now, what they're doing now is they're calling them seasons, because basically they're retroactively calling the classic series. Because in the UK, a season of a TV show, as in North America, it's called a season. It's called a series. And when the show is completed, that's called a season. Now, in order to differentiate the new Doctor Who series, which came back in 2006 from the old series. They're calling them seasons. So basically, what's happened is this one here is one of the three really big ones. Philip Hinchcliffe took over and did the first three series of Tom Baker's run of Doctor Who. Now, one thing he really made like prevalent was horror. He really liked horror. He really liked Hammer horror, and you got to see a lot of horror and creepy stuff and like really pushing the boundaries type of thing during his run on Doctor Who. It's still by some, me included, to be considered the best like run of any showrunner for the complete series, classic and new. And this here is series, or we'll just say season, I guess now, 14. Now this here is Tom Baker. You can see him dressed up in this Sherlock Holmesian garb. This is the robots from Robots in Death. Actually, Deep Roy, an actor that you probably still know today. Deep Roy was in an episode of this series, which Townsend Wing Chang as Mr. Sin, which I think you're getting to see him in there. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to let you see exactly how cool these sets are. These are very limited edition. These sell out extremely fast. They put out basically a kind of a story type commercial for each of these sets. And as soon as they come out, especially if it's a Tom Baker or a John Perry, that's gone. Yeah, exactly. Some of the episodes on Alan's right of Doctor Who are kind of lost forever. That's usually with the first and second Doctor, William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton. So this is the kind of the L card that they got there. I think that's what they call it. There's a ton of different stuff in this one. We'll actually show off that, but right now you'll see the way this is done. And I do have some of the North American sets, so I will give you the drastic difference between what you get in the UK and what you get in North America. You're right, exactly right. So you open it up now, and you see this. And it has, and I think this might be the first time I did this. It has kind of a similar background type thing. So this one here is a mask of, okay, how'd you say that again? Mandragora? I want to get this right. We'll get into the really cool thing in a second. Then there's the Hand of Fear, which is known as being Sarah Jane, Elizabeth Sladen's last episode, until she would come back many years later and then get her spin-off series. This here is The Deadly Assassin. What's really popular and famous about The Deadly Assassin is it's the only classic Doctor Who episode that doesn't have a companion at all in the series. There would never be another episode between the 1960s and 1989 that would be companionless. Everyone would have a companion. See, I like the Face of Evil. I'll be honest with you. I think Face of Evil is underlooked. I say give it another shot. Face of Evil is on here. That's the first Layla episode. We got Robots to Death, which is kind of an Agatha Christie style murder mystery with these really cool looking robots. I love kind of a Mr. Roboto type of thing, right? This is Townsend Wang Chang, Disc 1. Yeah, this was a big one, guys. Townsend Wang Chang, Disc 2, and that is Deep Roy there under that under that Mr. Sin makeup. And as always, there's the bonus disc. And the classic look for Tom Baker. It's an 8-disc set, and that's not all, by the way. You come to here, and you see this here picture of from Face of Evil. It opens up, and we see a picture here. It looks kind of a Deadly Assassin type of picture with the kind of see the TARDIS. This also opens up. Take out a booklet, and on the inside you can see again, like in every one of these here, the inside the TARDIS console is on the inside for that season. Now this isn't just like an episode guide, like that was what you normally assume, or just something that just has what's on the disc. No, there's actually really good write-ups about the episodes, about like stuff that went into them. Talks about like season 14. There's a cool picture of Tom Baker right there. There is some amazing artwork within these here, Now, I unfortunately only started getting. I haven't picked up the faceless ones yet. They really went like deep into the packaging here. And if you're gonna collect like Doctor Who, if you're gonna dive into the early seasons, this is the best way to do it, because Doctor Who is one of the best represented shows, like on physical media, with the most features that you can possibly imagine. Elizabeth Sladen was like probably, yeah, that's the same Deep Rod, the guy from Willy Wonka, and the new Willy Wonka, the Charlie and Chocolate Factory one, right? The one with that's Deep Rod. They actually interview him on this disc. He'd played Mr. Sim, which was a big character from the towns of Wang Chang, but he'd never been interviewed about the series before. Yeah, I know, it's insane. I mean, like I do have like a whole bunch of Doctor Who DVDs over there. I didn't bring them over tonight, but I will show you the difference between like this. By the way, this is the UK sets. They do a commercial. They put it on BBC on YouTube, and these things sell like hotcakes. Now this one's already out of print, and it goes anywhere from, I don't know, 120 pounds to like 380, something like that. So yeah, pounds. So yeah. Now, do you want to see I'm going to share my North American seasons of series of Doctor Who before I show you the other UK one that I got. Yep, Tom Baker. Yeah, he was. He played him for the longest period. He played him for seven series from was it 74, I think, right up into the 80s. Yeah, I'm going to show you Cinematech. So for people that haven't collected or have never seen the North American Doctor Who seasons, yeah, this is what you get. Initially, I started to get these. I was really happy because it had all the whole season, it had all the features, and then I got the. So I watched 2 Region B88 film slasher. Nice. So look at this. This is a North American edition. I have the movie, Alan, yeah, the Paul McGann film. It was in the revisitation set, the first volume. This is the North American. Now just look at what I just showed you. So this is a UK edition of this. This is a North American. Now remember when I just showed you, hey there Amir, the booklet from the UK edition, that big thick booklet with all the write-ups? So this is what I got. I'm not joking. In the North American Doctor Who sets. This is what it came with. This was its booklet. Also, you should know this one here, this is a rarity because no other set I got from North America has a booklet. Not even this. As for remember when I showed you the artwork on that Doctor Who? So every single discs on the North American release of Doctor Who are the exact same picture from the front of the disc, with just the name written in very small letters down at the bottom, right under the disc. This is a great season, by the way. Yeah, the Australian releases are identical to the UK ones, and they do look big ones like this. So if you can get the Australian releases, definitely go for that. But this would be the first season of Doctor Who. No, for Tom Baker. Series 12 is actually what it is. So Series 12, 13, and 14 were the Hinchcliffe era, the Holmes-Hinchcliffe era. So I was super excited when I got this, just as it was, because I hadn't picked up any of the UK sets yet. So I found this one here, and this had a slipcover, so I was like pretty stoked. This again is a North American one, but this a much bigger season, had a lot of stuff on it. Again, it's just the disc. Sylvester McCoy is the Gary Tagman from The Hobbit. Yeah, no booklet, no nothing. but still great material. If you can't get the UK releases, there's nothing wrong with getting the North American releases. See, I did like Davidson. I did like Davidson more than I do. I'm now more now than I did then, but I was not a fan of. Davidson was so low key when it came to the show, and there were so many companions there that I don't think I really got to like him until the whole Big Finish stuff. So if that seems like kind of like for people that don't know Doctor Who kept on going after the show ended. Like it ended in 1989. It only came back in 2006. So they kept it going with Big Finish, which was audio dramas. So this is the last season of Baker, which I think is season 18. I hate the way they number them here. Oh, Colin is great. I love Colin. Again, oh, this one does have, so I lied. Two of them have these like amazingly in-depth booklets that you get there. But sadly, again, it is the same artwork for all of these. And there is one more, which I wish I would have got the UK edition of, especially for this one, because it's more of a, again, we're talking classic Doctors. Aside from like Tom, who was the first one that I ever saw, I went back afterwards. I remember seeing John Pertwee next, and the rest of them I saw in order when they came on TV, because I watched from Tom on up. But my favorite Doctor is Tom Baker. I know it's a pretty vanilla thing to say, and it's gone back and forth in years between like Tom and Pertwee and actually Colin. I actually did like Colin, and so, but right now it's Tom Baker, because he did have the best run of the series, and he did seem to be the one guy that when you're watching the show, and I don't think anybody else has been able to do this like in new or classic series of Doctor Who. He seems like an alien. He seems like there's nothing in Tom Baker that seems like, wow, this is an actor playing a role. No, he seems like Doctor Who. If somebody came up tomorrow and said Doctor Who was a real thing, and Tom Baker was the real Doctor Who, I would not be surprised. It would not surprise me. So this was John Pertwee. This is the only John Pertwee season so far. Not my favorite John Pertwee season, but it does have a few like good serials in here. Yes, this was the guy right before Tom, actually. This was the third Doctor. So the Doctors in order of William Hartnell, then was followed by Patrick Troughton, then by John Pertwee, then it was Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and finally Sylvester McCoy. In the new era, it's Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker. So that's all the Doctors so far, and I guess Jill Martin too, and William Hurt. So, and Richard Hurdnall, and Peter Cushing, and everybody from Brain of Morbius. But there we go. Now I do have one other UK edition. This is the one I got right before this, and I will show this right now. Paul McGann, you're right, Cinematech. How could I forget Paul McGann? I feel so bad now because he was such a good Doctor. He was so underrated too. So this is Sylvester McCoy. This is actually the very last series of Doctor Who's original run. It was 1989. It changed my life. Oh yeah, William Hurt was the Doctor. He was the War Doctor actually. He came in late, but yeah, he did a great job. He had the beard on. It was real cool. So this is the last series of Doctor Who, and it changed my life. It changed my life in the way because I was going into acting. And I've mentioned this on my channel a few times, but I'll mention it here right now really quickly. I was going to be an actor throughout my, throughout high school and growing up. I took acting. I was in every play. I acted, I directed, I did classes, movement classes, speech classes, dance classes, that type of stuff. And acting was pretty much, that was it. That was my legit career path. I had no other aspirations to do anything else. And I said one of my goals was getting on Doctor Who, like getting a role on the show. But in 1989, when I was graduating from high school, I'm that old. So I got my grandparents said, okay, it is the Doctor from the Hobbit. why don't you put in some other applications? So I got into Western Ontario University for drama. I was accepted, and I also got accepted to another school for journalism. Now, Doctor Who got canceled in 1989, and I saw that as like it was a blow to me. I was a huge fan. I'm a big fan. This is where it changed my life. And please hit the like button, by the way, guys, if you're here. I really appreciate it. I took journalism as my safety net because one of my goals for becoming an actor was now gone, and that was act on a show that no longer existed. So that literally changed my life. I went to instead of going to Western Ontario where I'd planned to go, where Edge and Christian, the wrestlers, went, by the way, I ended up going to a more local college, and I took journalism, and I've totally fell in love with it. But it wasn't something that I felt like that I wanted to go in. Work as a journalist, not really. I mean, like I did some stuff along the way. I did more writing than I did like journalism. I actually thought about going back into it at one point. But print journalism is almost like a dead medium right now, and that's really sad. Everything's gone online. There are some great online journalists out there. Like I've done like some short things and some fan stuff and all that type of thing, but nothing that I would consider real journalism aside from when I was in school. Now, when I was in school, I went to a type of journalism school where basically they threw you into the mix. There was none of this like theory and theory and theory. It was okay. Our college has a radio show that goes on every night. You're going to be like either you're going to be on the mic, you're going to be editing the show, you're going to be setting up stuff. That we have a television news program that comes out like once a week, and we have so I worked on that. I worked on some PSAs as well. I actually acted in some PSAs, and for the college channel, which somebody got somewhere now. Apparently, they got lost at the college. They got stole because they were kind of comical. But yeah, I was really into journalism, and I'm big on I'm big on journalism. So that's probably why I'm a bit of a news hound, and I have very stringent rules when it comes to journalism. So this is the other season. As you can see, yet again, the UK one has different disc art on absolutely every one of these discs. This is a great season, by the way. Anybody that watches the current Doctor Who that's on right now, this here season and the season before it would be where the new current one is coming from. Because if you're a fan, you know what the Cartmel plan is. Cartmel Master Plan, and that was like a big deal back in the day. Again, this has this here, which opens up with a picture from Survival, the very last episode of Doctor Who, where Doctor Who is going after Anthony Anley's master. It comes out, and there's the booklet that comes out of here. I'll show you the booklet really quickly. So, just so you can get an idea. This is a North American edition of a Doctor Who complete season booklet. This is a UK edition of a Doctor Who complete season booklet. I think I forgot to show it over here, but I do have the Colin Baker season, the Trial of Time Lord season. It fell over there in the... And as you can see, Ace is one of your favorite companions? I love Ace. I like to see her come back, actually, because she's still young enough to come back. Ace was one of those kick-ass companions, by the way, that you get a lot of companions back in the day. It would be like kind of like running from like the creatures and the dialects and stuff like that. Ace was a companion that actually got pissed off and took a baseball bat and beat a Dalek to death. That's how cool she was as a companion. But yeah, that's my favorite. Those are my favorite eras when it comes to Doctor Who. We're slowly but surely getting a lot of the stuff come out now. The Brits do it right. I mean, whether it be like an Arrow video disc or a BFI Eureka disc, or the UK editions. And look how good these look on the shelf too. Look at this. Don't these look amazing? Can you imagine like a whole run of these? I would love to have the complete ones on from the UK editions of this one here. I've collected Doctor Who for a long time. I do have a lot of autographs from different doctors and companions, from Sophie Aldred, from Tom Baker, from Verdi Lambert. And I did collect, like, for people that ask, are there any other like UK shows, like sci-fi shows I collected? Well, I do have like Red Dwarf and of course Blake 7, because that was a really good show as well. Now here in North America, Red Dwarf and Blake 7 fought for space when it came to Doctor Who. I remember that they took Doctor Who off of PBS, which for a while, and they put on some Blake 7 and they put on some Red Dwarf. They tried other shows in that time slot, and I remember hating those shows at the time because I wanted to see my damn Doctor Who. I can't say Aldrich's the worst companion. I actually liked Aldrich. I think that the people that wrote for Aldrich in the East Space and After thing in the last season, Tom Baker, really, like, he plays it well off of Tom Baker. Like Matthew Waterhouse plays well off of Tom Baker, but it doesn't work so well with the dynamic going into the Peter Davison era of Doctor Who. I don't think that's his fault though. I think that's the fault of like the way that of like the chemistry with the new Doctor and like how it was written at the time. I can't blame a guy for trying. Waterhouse is actually a really nice guy. He's kind of shy. One of the season sets, by the way, has a weekend with Waterhouse where basically they go and they spend some time with the actor Matthew Waterhouse. They have some really unique things on those sets, because you're not just getting the episodes. Like in a lot of them, you get an episode, you get like a featurette, a 15-minute featurette, or like a behind the scenes, or like a maybe this, if you're lucky, a season overview or interview with some of the people. Every one of those stories is going to come with a making of. It's going to come with interviews, and it's going to come with kind of like documentaries. Just an incredible amount of stuff. Troughton, Jamie, and Victoria were an amazing dream team. I don't like the way they ended them in War Games, where basically they forget everything. That really bothered me. That's why I really like the two Doctors with Colin Baker. We get to see Patrick Troughton and Jamie together again with Colin Baker and Perry, who in my opinion is an underrated Doctor Who companion. One of my least favorite companions, and I will be honest, is probably Mel. Hey there, Hammers. And the reason for that is actually not her. I like Bonnie Langford. I just think that she was badly written throughout almost the entirety of that show. They just had her pretty much scream and run around, which is a shame because Bonnie Langford was she's a stage actress, big, known for musicals and stuff like that. So they could have went somewhere with her. At the time, I'm guessing they thought of it like stunt casting. Bonnie Langford was the original, like Rose Tyler, in the way that they tried to pick somebody that was kind of famous already and put him in that companion place. Pinball, Doctor Who Pinball. So I mentioned Doctor Who Pinball. There's a few Doctor Who games out there. There's a new one with Jodie Whittaker that's supposed to be really good. And I'm actually really excited for the next season of Doctor Who. But I'm going to try and confine this one to this episode of classic stuff. I haven't played any of the Doctor Who mobile games. I don't think. I think I played one. I was in a mobile one though, but it was like it had David Tennant in it. Donna Noble is yes, hands down. Hands down. But now here's the thing. I love Catherine Tate. She and I have a huge crush on Catherine Tate. I do. That's one redhead. But yeah, I've always had a huge crush on Catherine Tate, and they're funny. I like people that are funny. That does definitely stand out to me. My better half like crochets. Like she crochets characters and stuff like that. And like she's done like recently, she did like the Yoda from Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian, and we'll call him Baby Yoda. And well, she did Gur, which is an amazing job on Gur, and she did Frida, and she did a few other characters as well. So I think I'm attracted to creative people, and my better half is an extremely creative person. So that's there you go. There's a little bit behind the scenes behind me about me. So that's my Doctor Who portion of the conversation. Now's my free-for-all portion of the conversation. So you can ask me questions about Doctor Who. We can talk about the Vinegar Syndrome sale. We can talk about the upcoming Severance sale. It is free and in your hands right now. I'm just, by the way, I want to thank you for people that came on here and that may not have known anything with Doctor Who, especially, and decided, I'm going to take a chance and watch this one anyway. That's how props. Props for that. Because that's there. That's a cult member. That's a true cult member. Do I have any Doctor Who comic books? Hey, 4K, welcome, man. I don't actually. I don't have any Doctor Who comic books. I used to. I used to have the Marvel series. I was only like 2 or 3. Yeah, the romantic storyline they brought into the new series of Doctor Who was kind of not my thing. Source from the Trenches, 7-page book from. Oh, well, that looks good. Hey, Mary, thank you. See, like that, I kind of knew you'd be here. That's cool. Thank you so much. If you're a fan of like Hammer Horror, though, Mary, you might want to check out the Tom Baker era when it comes to that stuff. Because that's where it's good. Is everybody ready for the Vinegar Syndrome sale? Are we ready? Because if you want Rad, if Rad is one of the ones that you're looking for, get it early. Because according to the Vinegar Syndrome website, Vinegar Syndrome 1, 2/3 of Rad, that's already gone. 2/3 of Rad already sold out. That's how well Rad is pre-order sold. And this is a 4K Blu-ray combo. And I'm willing to bet some of the people that I probably may not even have 4K disc players or TVs yet, but they want Rad really bad. That rhymes. I didn't try that, but okay. So I'm actually super looking forward to the sale. I don't think I'm going to be able to get much or anything in the sale. It's been a hard time for us financially over the last couple months. I guess it's been a hard time for a lot of people. But I do have some cool stuff coming. I have no audiobook CDs. I actually don't. I used to have some Big Finish stuff, but I lost that when I was in Ottawa. That was the only Big Finish audios that I had. But I did have a friend that had a few, and I listened to some of them as well, so I've listened to a lot of the Big Finish audios. Now I'm going to open this up here so you guys can talk about anything you want to. We're going to talk about the Vinegar Syndrome sale and other sales that are going on. The announcement of the Severance sale is coming out in June. Where this goes right now, check out the Curtis Sands book, Sands Instagram page. I will check it out. It's totally up to you guys. You mean aside from the ones that we've already got? Well, we know Punkfication, and we know No Train to Terror. We know those are pretty much going to be to the catalog slip covers. If we're going to follow along that lines, Punkfication was like a double feature one. No Train to Terror is one of their early releases. Maybe Madman. When the wind there's a, oh dude, get some tissues and stuff for When the Wind Blows. That's a brutal film, man. Only around 60-something minutes long too, but yeah, it's as long as it should be. But yeah, so let's see maybe Madman, because I don't think that one's got a slip cover yet. And Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Yeah, that's probably the other one picked if I was to choose one. Like I think they're going to go with like the really early stuff first. But they're going to go with stuff that's kind of popular. There's also the new AGFA title. That's that I'm interested in. I love AGFA titles. They do some really weird, cool stuff. Johnny Gunman is must pick up from Vinegar. I don't know Johnny Gunman. Which one's that? Oh, the music is fantastic. Bowie song. I'm a huge Bowie fan anyway, so every Bowie song's fantastic. But it'll be interesting. The McPherson tapes is probably one that that's strong, like contender, or something that I really want. Shares releasing Blu-ray DVDs combo steelbooks. I didn't know that. Are those going directly to God, Walmart like the other Shutter releases? Because that'd be interesting. I got a few Shutter releases. There's a couple that I need to pick up, and if they're going to come in steelbook format, I'll probably wait till they come in steelbook format to get them. Because I'm going to guess Walmart steelbooks are usually pretty inexpensive, pretty cheap to get, and they do go to print. I remember the Evil Dead one that I got. I don't think that was in print anymore. I don't think it ever went any kind of crazy price or anything like that. When I collect things, I collect to watch things. I don't collect for appreciation or for value or anything like that. So when a limited edition, like say when Twilight Time went under recently, then it was announced that Screen Archives was doing stuff for Twilight Time. Some people got upset that Screen Archives might do more than 3,000 of or may reprint stuff that's already gone out of print, which doesn't look like they're going to do. But I was all for that because basically, yeah, like for sure, why not get as many copies of a film out to people as possible? But the same work can do it. But the same type of like special features and commentaries and all that type of jazz. But I just want I want movies and shows to get to as large an audience as possible. I want as many people as possible to be buying physical media in a time when streaming has become such a big thing. Because people are going to start realizing as they start like finding stuff and kind of start watching stuff, then a lot of things go off the streaming sites really quickly, and then they can't get back to see their favorite thing. Snake Eater. Now, the Snake Eater that I know was the Lorenzo Lamas series of films. There's Snake Eater 1, 2, and 3 with Lamas, and I used to like those films a lot, so I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but I love those films. They were kind of cool. You can watch a Snake Eater film, but it was like Gator Bait or something like that. There's this cool like action films. It's a 50s New York City noir film about two mobsters. That's on Vinegar Syndrome? Where is that on Vinegar Syndrome? I've not, I'll be honest with you, dude, I've never seen that release on the Vinegar Syndrome website. So I've passed that one by somewhere. I didn't know they put it out, to be totally honest with you. But there's like a few now, of course, that I can't see because the Vinegar Syndrome website is down. And it will be coming up again at Friday, 12:01. So 12:01 means it's going to be Thursday night at 12:01. So I will be here shortly after the sale opens up. So I'll be if I get anything, I'm not quite sure. I don't think, but either way, what I'll be doing is I'll be coming on here. We can talk about the sale as the sale is going on. I will be working on Sunday. I'll be doing it won't be a live thing, I don't think, but Sunday I'm going to be working with Serial at Midnight on a collaboration video, which I mentioned to you guys before. So if you haven't checked out Serial Midnight's channel, please do check it out because he puts out a lot of really, really good content. Heath is great that way. It's on a 2 for the Candidate. Oh, yeah, that's the release. Okay. Yeah, now I know the release you're talking about. Because the Candidate's the kind of the heavily done one. The Severed Arm. I don't know. I'm trying to remember Severed Arm, to be honest with you. The Patty Hearst one, Dungeon, is coming. That's one of the ones coming for the sale. That's a Paul Schrader film. It's an underrated Paul Schrader film, too. It's got William Forsythe in it, if I remember correctly. Should definitely be a good watch. It was a different one for Vinegar Syndrome. I'll be honest. Patty Hearst but with Paul Schrader, that was something I thought Criterion would eventually put out, because it did seem like a Criterion style release or an Indicator style release, that type of thing. Uh, then, but yeah, so that'll be interesting. Severed Arm, I don't remember that well, so I really can't talk on it. It'll be interesting to see. I have no idea what the VSAs are going to be, and I still don't have Hellrider, so there's that. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. But it is going to be a big weekend. It's going to be an exciting weekend for movie collectors. What's the bloodiest horror movie I ever saw? Probably, I don't know if the bloodiest one I ever saw, but I'm guessing maybe the Herschel Gordon Lewis stuff is definitely kind of in that in that camp. I got like Brain Dead and stuff like that. Maybe something like that, like Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. I'm not really a person that goes in all out for like gore. I'm not a gore hound, but I used to be back when I was younger. I think it's something that you go through as a stage when you're really young, when you're like into horror and you're like cat in the brain, right? Cat damaged brain, and you're young and you initially you just start exploring and you go for the gore stuff because it's cool. It's kind of over the top. As you get me anyway, this is my trajectory. As you get a bit older, you're like the gore's still cool, but if the story's not there, you're not feeling it. And sometimes then you get to the point where you realize, oh, wait a minute, this gore is here because there's nothing else to kind of like putting it together. And then you catch on to that. Now, some people still like I have friends that just love the effects and the way that they're done, so they love the gore for that aspect of it. Me, I like a good fun film. If you don't bore me, whether it's gore or horror or jump scares, because like people say, well, I don't like jump scares, they're cheap. They're meant to be. But as long as you don't bore me, like the key to me and the key to this channel is films. As long as you don't bore me, you're good there. The VSAs are not included in half-year subscription, as far as I know, Logan. As what I think they're still doing is if somebody gets a half-year subscription, I think they're still giving it coupons. For like 50% off the VSAs, which is what they've been doing since last year. Actually, I have two Zelda t-shirts. I got this one in the Triforce. I think this one shrunk on me in the wash. I'm just saying. I was putting it on today and it seemed a little bit like snugger than it usually does. But obviously it's the wash and not the fact that I've been isolated in the house and eating way too much junk food and not getting enough walks. On a totally unrelated note, I'm going to be starting walking soon. So we'll put that out there. But no, I don't think we're going to get like the kind of like some anime. Like you get into like the anime and the shirts. When I started like watching anime, it didn't even have English subtitles. I started watching it in college, and I had a friend that would get it from Japan. So we got a lot of the Dirty Pair stuff, which is Ki and Yuri. If you've never checked out, you're not an anime person or you've never heard the Dirty Pair. There were two like kind of like intergalactic bounty hunters, really sexy bounty hunters, that would go and would kind of like destroy planets trying to do their whole thing. Like literally commit genocide. Her husband in the room talking to her. Blood Simple. But Blood Simple had a good story too, so that's the thing, right? It's like, I was watching Dead Meat recently. And if you've never seen Dead Meat, he does a kill count and he does a Dead Meat podcast as well. And recently started doing the movie that scares you, which is an idea I've thought of taking. I gotta do my own version of it. Oh my God, I gotta get a drink. You should get a coupon. Like, make sure you let them know if you haven't received your coupon by the time when that sale starts, because you should be getting them at the 50% off Logan. So if you've got the halfway subscription, those coupons should be coming your way. Because as far as I know, they're still doing the coupons for those. So Logan, quick question: what's your favorite VSA out of all the ones? So if you got the VSAs, if so, what's your favorite? Yearly coupon a couple days ago. There you go. I'm a little. Down here, it's a little like dusty, so which affects the runniness of my nose. So I got to go to frame for a minute because I'm not a savage for the VSAs. I still love like a lot of anime, but I like a lot of the stuff I grew up with. I don't have any VSAs. Oh, yeah, it's right though, because I showed you the VSAs in the last video, didn't I? I forgot that. Like my memory's gone now, man. For me, like a lot of people are going to go with like Savage Harbor, but I like the Vice Academy stuff. I really did 1 to 3. I really like the Vice Academy ones, and 4 it's just crazy insanity. Evil Town for sure. It's a weird one. If you've seen Evils in the Night, if you got that movie, then you gotta get a feel of what Evil Town is going to be. But I'm really liking the stuff that they put out so far. I've liked most of the VSAs. I don't have Hell Riders yet. I haven't watched the VSA of Savage Dawn, but I do know the film. I've actually watched the film before. It's probably, aside from the Vice Academy ones, it's the one I knew the most when going in, which is probably the reason haven't had to go back to watch it as of yet. It's something that I want to watch soon. It's kind of what I want to watch with my better half because I know she's going to like that one. Uh, but I actually really like that. I'm a big Lance Henriksen fan. Um, I love the actors that are in that one. It all depends on what you're in. Hell Riders is a different film. Hell Riders is such a weird film. It's a film that's got Tina Louise from Gilligan's Island. It's got Adam West, of course, from Batman fame, and it's a biker film. It's a 1970s era biker film, filmed in 1984, long after the biker craze had died down. So that's a kind of an odd mix in and of itself. It's definitely a fun little film. I can see people that don't like it. I can see why. But if it's definitely worth watch. Vice Academy is a cool one. I mean, like you're getting 3 films there, Logan. The first 2 I think are the most solid of those first 3, but all 3 of them do have like have a place. I do think that the third film is really kind of getting its chemistry for the series going on because 4, 5, and 6 does tend to pick up a bit in my opinion, because you got Ginger Lynn and Linnea Quigley in the first 2 films, but now they're people assume that they're a team. They're not actually. Well, the older VSA, if it's over 3 months, yes, it should be. Hey there, Brian. Got any new MVD Rewind movies? I don't. I haven't got some MVD Rewind in a while, so I'm kind of behind. I'd really want Mind Games. I'm a huge Maxwell Caulfield fan, and I like that film a lot, actually. When I wanted to act, I wanted to do stuff like Maxwell Caulfield, and but I did want to do. Ironically, I did want to do films. The last thing I wanted to act in was films that had no interest in me for me at all. See, I hope I didn't interrupt your Japanese language learning, but I know no Japanese. I don't have Lionheart, which is a really cool one from MVD Rewind. But it's so freaking expensive here in the U.S. Sorry, in the U.S. It's expensive here in Canada. Basically, it's like over $50 to buy here in Canada to get Lionheart, which is the only reason I don't have that one. I got Double Impact and all those. So those were good titles. I would definitely recommend Vice Academy. If you're going to grab one of the VSAs, get that one. Evil Town's a great release too, but you got like really crappy horror, Logan. And I know sometimes you don't, um, because I still remember you didn't like the Clint Howard one from Scream Factory. I don't forget this stuff. Evil Towns is a hit or miss with you, but I think you're gonna have fun with Vice Academy. It does show off Ginger Lynn and Linnea Quigley. They are not a team in the movie. They're actually kind of like adversaries. So like that's something that I always got to tell people that are going in. Linnea Quigley and they don't have a lot of scenes together in the first film. No, because Ginger Lynn's character is kind of like this. Uh, she's a spoiled brat, and Linnea Quigley is one of the kind of like the one of the cool ones. I haven't seen the point. I'm surprised that a bad transfer comes out of MVD Rewind because they've done some great stuff. So if a transfer is bad, uh, I'm going to guess that it may have been the best transfer that was possible. I don't know. I'd have to read up more on it. The doctor, that was the best part. Doctor was insane, which of course he was, but it was well done. Logan, I am guessing you picked up this because holy crap, man, this is insanely good. You'll cry, Logan. I'm not even lying, dude. The Elizabeth Sladen documentary is going to make you cry. Logan, like me, collects Doctor Who. So if you're a fan of Logan Talks, collect Doctor Who. Man, there's a lot of dust on here tonight. But it is an interesting. It is going to be an interesting sale. I think that people are going to be ready. They're going like with those two out of print VSAs. They have you got any of the UK editions yet, Logan, or are you still going with the North American ones? With the out of print VSAs coming back, having Evil Town and Voice Academy back on the sale. Like aside from Rad being there, which everybody wants, they have those two VSAs kind of coming back. Those four slipcovers, those two secret titles. Yeah, it's going to be a big time. There's going to be a lot of people going on there. Hopefully it doesn't break the whole server. Hopefully they got their servers ready for this because this, I think, is going to be one of their biggest, if not their biggest sale yet. It's going to be an exciting time for Vinegar Syndrome fans. And I think we're going to have a similar thing happen when it comes to Severin in June. So there'll be like, my Severin box set, by the way, is, the label's created, I know that much, so it should be out of the way pretty soon. What you got to do, Logan, is when they announce the next one, I'm serious, man. Just go for the UK one. Just pre-order it because it'll go down cheap, and you get it for like a decent price, cheaper than the North American ones. The Doctor Who one that I got cost me less than it costs for a North American one. And because I got to say this, the Al-Amsa box set is on its way for me. We'll be doing unboxing that when I get it come. And I do have the Ghastly bundle, so I'll be unboxing the entire bundle. But special for you, Logan. So, just going to say this, just going to put this out there. This is a UK booklet on Doctor Who. Hold on. This is a North American booklet on Doctor Who. These are rare to find. Treat yourself to a season where it's like goes together. Am I getting everybody's getting the replacement disc. Severin has been very good about this. Now I got to say this: I've seen some forums and some people that have been complaining because there were some issues with some of the disc 8 on the Al Adamson box set. I think that Severin definitely went jumped ahead of it. They found out that it was happening. Found out they went to it wasn't their fault. It was the replicator. But they were on it right away. They're going to be setting up replacement discs for anybody that's got the Al Adamson set. So Disc 8 has been the one that's had the issue, and they're already working on making sure everybody gets their set and gets their replacement disc. So you can't go any better than that. Severin has done a great job with this, and you can't complain too much with the work that they put into this and the fact that they're just going all out at a time when they could really say, okay, we'll get it to you in a little bit because because there's things going on right now. So it's going to take us a while, but no, they're going right on it and getting you the replacement disc ASAP. Now there are times when companies like that are known for doing stuff like really well. For instance, like Arrow Video, and Logan will know all about this. When they put out their Cronenberg stuff, when they put out Shivers, they eventually got a disc, their replacement disc. Though that replacement disc took around for some people who got it initially, that replacement disc took a few months to get. It was damn worth it when you got it, but it took a lot more time. I don't have Headmaster actually. Plays over Scream Factory 2008 titles from Hampton Books. Nice. Yeah, everything's shut down now till the sale comes. Arrow does an incredible job with the stuff they do. I mean, let's face it, it is the boutique companies right now that are keeping physical media, not just afloat, but keeping it in the forefront. Um, and it all started, and I'm going to give props. I'm going to give special props right now to William Lustig, who started working initially with with Anchor Bay, and was really kind of on the forefront of this whole thing, and tried to get movies like the Hammer films and the Argento films over to Anchor Bay. So if you've ever if you're a VHS person, for instance, and you remember those clamshell cases from the Argento ones that came out, or the Hammer collection that came out in Anchor Bay, that was a Wim Lustig thing. Lustig would go on. Of course, he's the director of movies like Maniac and Maniac Cop. Looks that Maniac name, and Uncle Sam will go on to found Blue Underground, and they've been taking a bit of heat for the doing 4K and lenticular cover releases recently, but they don't have as many. Evil Dead had a definitely a bunch. Evil Dead, they did so many Evil Deads, Logan. Like if you go back and see how many versions of Evil Dead that Anchor Bay put out, it was for a while Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. Those were ones what you'd see over and over again. Until Second Sight, hey there, Bill. Until Second Sight came around, they had definitely the definitive edition of Dawn of the Dead, which is going to be an excellent release coming out. But if it wasn't for guys like Bill Lustig, we wouldn't have the Arrows and the Vinegar Syndromes and the Severins and the Scream Factories of today. So props to him, who never will know who I am or see this show, but anyway, props to him anyway. A long time ago. Slaughter Hotel. Is that Mel Kinski? Is Klaus Kinski in Slaughter Hotel? Or am I thinking of another film? Oh, that sucks, man. The Time Bandits cover, yeah, I got Time Bandits on the Arrow edition of it. I bought the Steelbook. But I remember seeing the lenticular cover that Criterion put out. It was, I think, it's the only lenticular cover they ever did, as far as I know. It was really impressive, and it was extremely well done. So, I don't remember it very well. I don't remember Slaughter Hotel, so I can't tell you if it's a great title to pick up or not. I remember kind of liking it, but I don't remember the details. It's second in the U.S. Oh, I don't know if there is one coming in the U.S. I know Second Sight is doing it in the UK, and that's the edition to get. I mean, I don't care what's coming in the US, because they're putting it all those discs. But the big thing for me, because I do soundtracks. I'm a big soundtrack guy, and the soundtrack CDs on the Second Sight edition of Dawn of the Dead are worth getting it for alone. That's going to be definitely worth getting it for. And I'm guessing they're not going to come over with the US releases. Got a Anchor Bay Straight to Hell. Still better than the Kino Lorber release. I would love to. Who knows? One of these. That's it. I would love to get interviewed one of these days, from any of the companies. Especially if I get to talk about this really super geeky stuff. Scream Factory missed the boat when the when I actually tweeted them and let them know that, hey, I live where your My Bloody Valentine film was made. I can get you some now location footage of My Bloody Valentine. I like of Valentine's Bluff as it looks today. They never got back to me. Like, plug this like out cinema. Well, hopefully he's a plug it anyway. but yeah, like that's like when we do. When I listen to Just to This podcast, sometimes I wonder when they talk about Vinegar Syndrome stuff if Brian's going to mention my channel every once in a while. Brian, do that sometimes. Mention my channel. But I'm begging here, right? But no, I was actually listening to like a podcast last night, which was really good actually, on Just to This one. There's so many good podcasts out there that I got to do just a video, like just going through a bunch of them. But there are so many, and it's hard. I can't say it's hard to keep up every night. Like I go through at least two podcasts when I go to bed, and sometimes like it'll inspire me to make a video. I gotta say, Just to This was an inspiration for bringing this channel live. That's just some people don't know, but it's actually true. Repo Man's an excellent film. Alex Cox, I like Alex Cox a lot actually. You never seen the movie? Oh, you definitely see the movie. See the original first, though. Now, what you need to do is before you watch Repo Man, you got to watch Kiss Me Deadly. Watch Kiss Me Deadly first, and then watch Repo Man. Double feature it. You'll understand what I mean after you see Repo Man. But watch Kiss Me Deadly and watch Repo Man as a double feature. It actually makes sense. Actually, Moods is a really nice guy. He's in Ontario, and he was one of the first kind of bigger YouTubers, I guess at the time, that actually found my channel, because I did a 50 Shades of Assad review, and he's a big fan of that type of stuff, and he commented on it. So I know the only thing that really kind of got to me was they were doing like a trivia episode, and I love their podcast. But so just to set the record straight, if you've seen the trivia one, the guy that played Michael Myers most, that's George P. Wilbur. That's even with Nick Castle in part 1 and the new one. That's still George P. Wilbur, who played Michael in parts 4, in part 6, and played him as a stuntman in part 5 as well. So just saying, just putting that out there. I'm a huge Halloween fan. But definitely check out their stuff. They have long podcasts, so get ready to maybe watch them and listen to them in either be working out or do them in a couple sittings, because sometimes it'll be like 3 or 4 hours long. I'm not even joking. And they do the good thing to do, like a lot of directors, like Lindsay and people like that that don't get represented enough. People that I try to represent on my channel. So I actually do appreciate that. But yeah, 22 Shots of Moods, Just to Disc, Pure Cinema, Shockwaves, Screamcast, people I think are cool, great stuff. I do like Joe D'Amato, actually. I actually know a lot of Joe D'Amato films that you probably, some people wouldn't know, or wouldn't actually admit that you know. I like the way you think, Logan. Never hype a movie too much, because people go in with too much, thinking too much. So yeah, I like Joe D'Amato. I know Joe D'Amato's work from his horror stuff, and I know his Rocco Siffredi stuff as well. So I'm not gonna lie. You guys know I know all types of cinema, even the X-rated stuff. And the Rocco Siffredi stuff, by the way, was extremely high budget stuff. I remember they did like at a castle and stuff like that. Really, see, Alex Cox, I really enjoy. I enjoy listening to Alex Cox talk too. He's one of those people when he's on a disc, he's really like he's kind of like Kim Newman, in a way that he just has. He's so interesting just to sit down and just listen to him chat about films. You know, like people that do that. Aside from commentary people, you know, you're going with Kat Ellinger, Heather Drain, Sam Deegan, you know the Trinity, and then you get like Troy Haworth, people like that. But when it comes to like on scene like interviews and stuff, like you got like the Kim Newmans and the Alex Coxes of the world, the Eli Roths as well, by the way. See, I can't see Slumdog Millionaire be something to be hyped. Like I know it's like, oh, this is a really good movie type of thing. Stephen Thrower again, always great. Justin Kurzweil, as well, I think does really good stuff. There's just certain people that stand out when it comes to this. Actually, geek moment for me. I was on. I don't have a lot of Twitter followers. I'm not a good Twitter user, to be totally honest with you. I'm really not. You guys know to use Twitter way better than I do. But Kat Ellinger actually followed me tonight on Twitter, and that was a kind of a super geek moment for me because I'm such a huge fan of Kat and her commentaries and her work. And of course, Rachel Nesbitt too. Amazing stuff. There's another good commentary, another good show too. Oh, Fragments of Fear. It's another great podcast, by the way. It's a Giallo podcast. The 80s, The Fly. I actually like The Fly too. I think the effects are really good on it. I think it's underrated as a film. A lot of people hate on that one, but I love it. See, for me, you did J Ho come from Slumdog Millionaire? Is that like the song, like you know the Pussycat Doll song, J Ho? Is that a Slumdog Millionaire song? Because if it is, I'm a huge. I'm not gonna don't judge me. I'm a huge Pussycat Dolls fan, and I love the song J Ho. So if J Ho is around because of Slumdog Millionaire, yeah, I'm good for Slumdog Millionaire. Not something I'd watch like on a regular basis either, but it's a good film. Eric Stoltz is such a good actor. Drums and Cody Leach. Those guys are these still in like you know? I heard. I do not stay up on the drama stuff, but I did hear that they were kind of butting heads for a bit. Uh, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't keep up with that stuff. Uh, I like watching podcasts. I like listening to podcasts and watching videos and stuff like that, and watching movies. Yeah, so I don't usually kind of keep up with the drama with the drama and stuff. I had heard through different sources that they kind of like that they parted ways. Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate that. I follow Drum more than I do Cody. Don't take that as going on any camp or anything like that. I just found him a bit more, what's the word, relatable to me, per se. And I'm not saying anything against the other person either. But honestly, the people that I watch usually aren't some of the bigger ones. Like I watch a lot of your guys' stuff. That's why I know the Criterion song. But my better half is a huge like wrestling YouTuber fan. So we like tonight. This video was supposed to be earlier on, but Quizlemania was on. So we had to watch that. That's kind of a Wednesday night like must for us here in the household. I used to be a huge wrestling fan back in the day, and I still watch a bit of it, not as much as I used to. But my better half is a huge wrestling YouTube fan. So she watches a lot of the Cultaholic and Wrestle Talks and stuff like that. Oh, he's going through the James Bond films, then, isn't he? He's really good, actually. I gotta say, he seems like a really nice guy. I don't know him at all, but but I do know that like I've seen a lot of his Criterion stuff, his videos that he's done. I've never been able to catch a live stream with him, but I don't know. I guess you chat to him, Brian. If you do, let him know that I do like his stuff. That I am a fan of the work that he does on his channel because I think it's really good, and he's definitely a quality YouTuber. Serial at midnight, good. I would. Well, that's when the crossover is coming. So you'll see me and Heath talking stuff. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to be talking about yet, but it's during the Vinegar Syndrome sale weekend, so we're probably going to. He's good actually, Logan. I think you'd really like him. He does a lot of Criterion stuff, so he's very varied in the stuff that he does. But he's one of those guys, and he has this kind of really kind of like kind of calming voice too, which actually sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I turn on his videos and I'm like, okay, I really want to kind of like chill. His videos are really good when it comes to that, and he knows his stuff when it comes to the Criterion stuff, and he takes it he definitely in a more, cause sometimes in a more academic way, and I truly I truly like appreciate when I see stuff like that. I'm a huge fan of visual essays. That's one of my favorite things when I find out there's going to be one. Arrow Video has a lot of visual essays on their discs, and I like those. And I think visual essays that are coming on disc now they're really a throwback to what we've seen on YouTube for years now. And you get some really good ones. If you're a Doctor Who fan, there are some great visual essays going through every Doctor Who kit as well. And there's tons of visual essays that are there on a lot of different topics. But he does really good stuff. Visual essays get your channel suspended. Are you serious? That would suck because I watch channels for visual essays. Why would a visual essay get your channel suspended? Like the footage? Would that be it? So YouTube is whack when it comes to that type of stuff. I'm going to say it right now. That should be what we're focusing on. That should be the type of stuff that we're looking into. But no, let's give prank videos and just really stupid stuff. We got a chance here as a culture, as a society, to kind of push it forward, to learn stuff from each other, and to truly at a time when there's so much reality TV going around and all this other type of stuff, to just go out there and just do some stuff some intelligent stuff. I don't think that's asking too much. That's what I think anyway. That's what I think that we should be. That's what we should be doing. That's what we should be looking for. And that's what I look for when it comes to a lot of YouTube stuff. Serial Midnight's got such a soothing voice. And I love the stuff that he does with his wife as well. I wish I'd get my better half on the channel more often, but she doesn't. When I watch Absurd, Logan. If you're even if you're never going to watch Anthropophagus, Absurd is actually, I'm not going to overhype it, but it is like Halloween. It is a Halloween 2 before Halloween 2. That's what it is. It's got a decent soundtrack, and it's got one of the most insane storylines, like subplots that I've seen in films about football, American football. That you got to check it out. Absurd is a fantastic score. That's one of the things. Absurd has a great score, and if you get the Severin disc, I think I'm pretty sure it's got the score with it, soundtrack with it. Yeah, definitely. It's like, well, you don't have to guess who it is. It's George Eastman. He's a big dude, man, and a smart guy. Actually, he was a writer too. He used to write scripts for a lot of the stuff that he did. George Eastman was a tall, lumbering giant of a guy, extremely intelligent, well-spoken, well-written. And if you get the Severin edition, then you get a CD with it as well. I don't think that the 88 films one had the CD soundtrack, not as far as I can remember. Maybe they did. But in North America, there's the Severin edition of Absurd. It's got that cool black case. It looks really cool. and I definitely recommend it. I've watched it around 4 or 5 times, and I've listened to the soundtrack a few times as well. Do you ever remember those? God, he got stopped from making them. But there's this YouTuber that, and he still does like kind of like video game videos because he's a video game guy too. But he used to do Ask a Superhero, and he would like be dressed up as like Spider-Man, and sometimes he would dress up like Venom. So the guy, he just got it's yes. There's like that's kind of a gross out sequence in Anthropophagus. People tend to like focus on that. Well, I guess that's a big thing to focus on. Anthropophagus has never been my favorite of his films. It's definitely more of a gross film. That being said, it's fairly well acted for for what it is. But I preferred Absurd. Like I know like they get like lumped in a lot to similar to and a similar type thing. But Absurd like Edmund Purdue was in it as kind of like the Donald Pleasancy type character, the Sam Loomis character. He's there's an insane. You get a cameo by Mikel Suave, and the Suave is there as well as a motorcyclist. So it gets kind of. I've Bio Omega, Beyond the Darkness. I've seen it. I love it. It's Joe D'Amato. It's Joe D'Amato, right? I don't have the new Blu-ray of it here, but I do have the original, like the Shriek Show edition of that, and I'm a huge fan of it. Definitely, let me know what you think of Absurd. It's not like it's not like insanely like it's not a Giallo film, and it's just different. It's kind of fun. There's a guy in it, and he's trying to get home because they try to make Absurd seem really American because he wants to an American audience, right? So in order to make Absurd seem really American, everybody in the movie, all the adults in the film, okay, they love football. They're super, they're super big on American football to the point where he's driving down the road and he runs over a dude. I'm not kidding. He runs over this motorcycle guy, and kind of like guy falls off his bike type thing. This is Mikel Suave, by the way, and and he goes on because he's so excited to get back to get and watch the football game. And I'm not joking. And like they do, everybody, all the adults get together and watch the football game the way everybody would with pasta, because I guess that's the thing. But it's the Italian version of what they think North Americans are doing when they're watching football, I guess. Well, it's one of the grossest films I've ever seen. If I watch a gross film, I tend to kind of move away from it afterwards. Maybe the Human Centipede films, like just on that concept, or and I wouldn't recommend this film actually at all. But there is one. Oh God, it's disturbing. It's disturbing in ways that I don't like. A film called what's the name of it now? I hate it so much I've actually blocked it in my mind. But Absurd has a great ending. I don't want to give that part away. But what is it? Serbian film. Serbian film. That's the one. Serbian film is definitely one of the grosser films in a different way, and I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend watching it. Nor do I buy the reasoning behind the film. I just don't. A lot of people do. I don't. Yeah, Martyrs is one of my favorites actually. There's a film that actually is disturbing in the right way. That at the end of the film it gets you thinking, right? And that's what you want. If you're going to utilize that type of filmmaking, if you're going to use like what some people call like torture porn, I don't think Martyrs is torture porn, by the way, but if you're going to utilize that sort of brutality in a film, then you make it a good one, and do what they did with Martyrs. Make it smart. Martyrs is a smart film. And I'm going to post it'll be posted on Serial Minutes channel for sure. I'm not sure if it'll be on mine or not, but it will be on Super Midnight's channel. I'll let you guys know when it comes up. The great thing about the ending of the Martyrs, now there's two Martyrs, just so you know. There's the original Martyrs, the French one, which is the one you should see, and there's the remake of Martyrs, which is not as good, which I watched only because I watched Pretty Little Liars back in the day, and Shay Mitchell was in the remake, and I'm a Shay Mitchell fan. So she's the person that got me to watch You, and it turned out to be a good decision. Martyrs remake, not such a good decision. But the original Martyrs, definitely check it out, guys. It's a really good film, and it's one where I watched it with my oldest kid, and me and her were talking about it for days after, like for weeks after. We would go back and have discussions about the ending of Martyrs and exactly what we thought happened. So that was kind of cool. Like CW show. That's a pretty brutal CW show, but I get what you mean. I can see it. It is very glossy. Now that being said, I like a lot of CW shows, so I cannot throw stones there. I'm not one of those people that will that can like look down on a series and say, you know, that's not. I watch Riverdale. Like just get that into perspective. I watch all this stuff here. I watch Criterion. I watch BFI. I watch Vinegar. So I also watch Riverdale, and I relate to Riverdale. That's the sad part. I relate to Jughead, but that's actually a fact. When you're a writer, and you're a weirdo, then Riverdale, especially first 2 seasons of Riverdale, Jughead stuff, yeah, it's relatable. Just watch, I'll lose like viewers because I mentioned that, like Riverdale. RSVCW. Has anybody heard about the Zack Snyder cut? By the way, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League is coming out in the near future, so prepare for that future disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm a weirdo, and I, in a good way, definitely. So, and I kind of own that. And I take this as kind of as a badge of honor. I'm a geek. I like my horror stuff and my movies and my action films and my musicals and all that type of stuff. And that's okay. It's okay to be weird. I don't think it's going to be, actually. Here's the thing. Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. It's still, now, let me get this right, because I want to make sure I got this correct here. It's still the same villain, right? And basically, aside from some other things, it's pretty much still the same film, just some other stuff put in there. Yeah, I'm sorry, but he's still facing the same guy. Okay, so I guess I'm interested in the Snyder cut. That doesn't surprise me, actually. But what interests you about the Snyder cut? Because in all seriousness, like I'm somebody that's kind of like my kids are super interested to see just to see how it's going to be, how different it's going to be. I'm lukewarm because I know at the end of the day, the ending, you know, we get the same initial ending of it. Now, if like we came out and said, well, by the way, I had cast the dark side, and there's some dark side sequences in the Snyder, yeah, you're going to get me excited with that type of thing. You know, I loved Man of Steel when it initially came out, but it's one that doesn't really. I still like it, but I don't love it anymore. And I gave like great love to Man of Steel. It doesn't stand the test of time. The way, like, if you watch Superman from 1978 now, the Chris Reeve one, especially Superman 2, more Superman 2, but Superman as well, it stands up. And you know, even like some dodgy effects type of thing, the film itself, it still stands. Have a great night there, Ellen. But I don't think that the Man of Steel stands up as well. I think it's the fact that Zack Snyder, and I like a lot of Zack Snyder's work. It's not like I don't. I mean, I like Dawn of the Dead, man. I like some of his others. I like Watchmen. Unlike a lot of people, I thought Watchmen. Hey, George, welcome, man. Oh, the Chris Reeve Superman films can't be beat, in my opinion. The They haven't been. He got that character. He truly got the character, and I think that the guy from the new films was fantastic. You know, he's a good actor, but he's kind of Henry Cavill is limited in what he can do. Uh, but uh, but I don't think I don't know if he never got the character, but I don't know if Zack Snyder ever really got Superman. I think it wasn't a good fit for for Snyder. I have a feeling you would have been much better off. Would have felt much better, more comfortable in the wheelhouse of Batman, or characters like that. Superman didn't need to be gritty. That's the thing, and I did like the movie back in the day, but Superman Returns isn't as bad as you think. I mean, it's not a good movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say it is a good film, but Brandon Routh Superman is a hundred times better than Henry Cavill Superman. And if anything deserved a sequel, oh thanks, Logan agrees. Okay, if anything deserved a sequel, it was Superman Returns, because Routh he could have been a true successor. He had it. He was enough like the original, but still enough of himself that that it worked well. It seemed like with Cavill, he really wanted to go against the grain and do this like edge lord version of Superman. Now here's the thing: it didn't work in the '90s when they tried to edge up Superman, uh, and it always goes back to the same thing. Superman's a character of hope. They lost it. Like I know that they probably eventually wanted to get around to it, but yeah. And I know my opinions on some of this stuff is controversial. Me and Logan don't agree on Batman. I'm a Michael Keaton guy, and I know Logan's probably Christian Bale. I know that that Brian's Christian Bale, but Dean Cain. Actually, I didn't mind Dean Cain. Dean Cain makes some weird ass movies now, but I did not mind Dean Cain as Superman and Lois and Clark, because Lois and Clark got it right, and it's the thing that I think a lot of Superman stuff, right on, that that a lot of people don't get right, is they tend to think Clark Kent is a mask and Superman is who he really is. No. He's Clark Kent. He grew up as Clark Kent. He was raised as Clark Kent. Uh, Superman is him getting to use his powers and utilize like other aspects of of his homeworld. But at the end of the day, he's still just Clark. He's Clark with superpowers, but he's still just Clark. He was raised well. He was raised by a family in the Midwest with good values and that type of thing. He doesn't take off his glasses and suddenly, oh no, look, this is the real me. No, Clark Kent is who he is, and some tend to move away from that and try to say that no, Clark Kent is just facade that he puts on, and I think that's an extremely wrong way to take the character. Lois and Clark understood that he was Clark, and then he became Superman because that's kind of what he did. That's his real job. But so I'll agree with it. I definitely agree. Batman Returns is an amazing film, highly underrated, very dark, and Affleck was great. He looked the role, he loved the role, but he was in a dark place, unfortunately. He didn't have the greatest material. When he did have good material, I'm not a huge fan of Batman versus Superman. I do like aspects of it though, and I do think that Ben Affleck was one of the best, and Gal Gadot were the best parts of that film. But when he was given material to work with, he did extremely well. You could tell that he had a reverence for the character. Now that's important. I mean, like, I for one, I never thought that Maybe he did, but I never thought that Christian Bale was a Batman guy. But I knew Ben Affleck was. I knew Ben Affleck was. You could tell. You could tell from that he was that he loved it. You can tell when somebody is acting a role and when the role means something more than just okay. I'm just going to cash that check. Here, let me give you an example. George Clooney in Batman in Batman and Robin. Ben Affleck in any film where he plays Batman. Affleck had both parts down, and that's the key to it. He got both aspects of the character. He understood who Bruce Wayne was, and he understood this damaged Bruce Wayne, kind of this older Bruce Wayne. And Affleck had grown into that aspect to do that role, which is a good thing. At a younger age, he may not have been able to do it as well. Like Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn's a good actor. Vince Vaughn should not have been playing like Norman Bates in Psycho at the age that he did. Oh no! Don't you dare apologize, man. It is okay if you mentioned another YouTube personality on here. There's only one YouTube personality I don't want you to mention, but I won't say who that is. But it's okay. I'm out here and like paying forward when it comes to other channels and stuff like that. Have I seen Combat Shock? Years ago, I actually got Combat Shock over there. That's Buddy Giurzano, I think. I'm pretty sure I got. Yeah, I got that over there. I got the True Masterpiece edition Combat Shock. I don't have like any Blu-ray edition of it, but I do have the True Masterpiece. It's a 2-disc edition. Really good, by the way. Uh, and I'm a big fan. Like it's a dark film. It's a nihilistic film, but not something you want to watch. You got to be in the right headspace for like a movie like Combat Shock. It's not something you. It's not light. It's not light watching. It's not light entertainment. But I do like it. Good question, by the way. Severin did put out a Blu-ray of it. Severin sometimes. I wonder if Severin will have any stuff that's kind of out of print. Uh, if they got anything that they've had left for like conventions or something. I know they did that sale where we got to see some stuff come back. It'd be interesting to see if they left anything, if they held anything back for this big sale coming up. So that's going to be like a something to look into too. I'll keep up you guys up to date on the 7 June sale as well when that comes up. So that's going to be interesting. We've got two big sales. We've got the Vinegar Syndrome sale coming this weekend, by the way, guys. So the Thursday night, late, I'm probably going to be doing a video, and then I'll probably do a follow up the next day for people that weren't able to get in for the Thursday night one, and I'll talk about like how the sale's going on. I'll be doing the hey, yeah, just before I go for tea, but you're in. That we'll be looking at the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. It's going to be an interesting week when it comes to that stuff. And if you want the Lost Town Needham film Rad, I think it made it to VHS and maybe hey there Bingo, and made it to Laserdisc. I think it made the Laserdisc as well, but never made DVD, never made Blu-ray until now. Uh, it's coming for you, man, but it's going to go fast, and it's definitely going to go fast. Rad is going to go fast. It's a pricier title at around like $44 Canadian, I think. But definitely one to look into if you like that stuff. Am I getting Rad? I don't know if I'm getting anything, Peng, to be honest with you. We're right now not exactly the best time in the Aaron household when it comes to that type of stuff. 2/3 already sold out. That's true. Actually, I mentioned that at the beginning of the well, at the beginning of the video, but actually at the beginning of the Vinegar Syndrome portion of this video. It's selling it fast. I don't expect it to get past the first day. Hey there, Wilf. It's going to be an interesting sale. We got 4 slipcovers coming up. We got 2 new VSAs, 2 secret titles that we don't know. There is Patty Hearst. There's Rad. We know about that one. What's the other film again? Oh, it's another film that I'm totally not remembering. Uh, but uh, but it's a good film. No, no, it's one I wasn't too fond of. It's a cheesy one. Either way, it's gonna be interesting stuff. But with that being said, the Immortalizer. That's the one. Entering high budget Russian film called just several hours long. I don't know if I am actually. I don't think I have. To be completely honest with you. Limited box set last. Oh, nice. I wish I had the money for it right now, man. Unfortunately, I don't. Unless I win the lotto. If I win the lotto, then you'll see me coming out here doing all kinds of unboxings. With all that being said, at 95 minutes, which is a pretty damn call to cinema. Um, Just League Dark Apocalypse. I haven't seen it yet. I want them to do more Just League Dark stuff, though. I really like that stuff. You guys too. I am Aaron. This is my movie library. You guys are the cult to cinema. You guys rock. For me, as you can tell with my voice, it is time for tea. And I'm glad you got the pre-order because I think that Rad is going to sell radically fast. There's a dad joke for you. Have a good evening.